Hey there, welcome to my studio. I am Diane Beam, the Modern Fauvist, and right now we are in the dead of winter in Maine, so our brains go a little squirrely. And it just popped into my head to talk about this painting today, and the theme today is, like the title, lower expectations. And of course, yeah, I need that SNL theme song. Okay, so most of my pieces are, like the Fauves, about the paint and the form and the design. Those are the main elements, right? But obviously, it's really impossible unless you're doing purely abstract work. And even then, I think we do have some kind of a narrative, and this narrative, I think, lends itself well to kind of getting down in the doldrums in the middle of February. And the lowered expectations part is about living in a state, Maine, right? Maine is, the tagline is vacation, well, one of the taglines is vacation land. And of course, this is, we are a vacation destination state. And so, we are one of the most beautiful places in the United States. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. And if you have to argue that, you haven't been here. So when you're a normal person living here full time, and you're trying to get out and make pieces of art, as an artist who's also a working parent, we have to squeeze that time in if we want to go far afield, and get these images and all the things. So this is really about going to an iconic place. In this case, Pemaquid Point, which is unbelievably gorgeous. It's a very commonly photographed lighthouse and park, and it's got everything that is quintessential Maine, right? So you've got the cute lighthouse and the rocky coast and the dramatic ocean, and it's just crazy beautiful, especially on a sunny day. Okay. So the narrative behind this piece is making this big plan to travel very far afield, in our case, to get to Pemaquid, right? And of course, bring in my camera. I'm going to take tons of amazing reference photos. Turns out, long story short, it was an incredibly foggy day, and we can have many of those, especially even whenever, any day can be, especially by the ocean, you can have intense fog. So this particular day, the fog was so thick. We were literally standing on these rocks and we could not see the ocean in front of us. It was that foggy. And, I remember standing there on the rocks, and I was with my 3 children, and they were having a blast because what a cool place, right? And I really had to just kind of like contain my disappointment over the fact that, at that moment, it was clear I was not going to get my good reference photos that I desperately wanted and thought that I needed for my work, right? So long story short, fabulous day. And to this day, I still remember it. It's beautiful. My memories of that day are just, I'll always cherish them. And so what I did was I came home and I just kind of put my photos away, thinking, you win some, you lose some. I'll revisit it. And then I thought, I had a change of heart one morning. I got those photos and I thought, all right, I'm just going to chill and look at these photos, and I'm really going to concentrate on the design part of it, okay? And that's how I start a piece anyway, It's always just, a very simple line drawing taken from a landscape or whatever it is. And so I thought, all right, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to sit down and make my sketch. And then I was thinking, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to do something completely different. And so different for me, meaning getting this blue ground color, which I had never used before. And then kind of wrapping my head around, okay, I do these very squared off marks, okay? Sometimes I say dots, but technically they're more just like, they look squared off because I use squared off brushes mostly. That's my favorite. So it's a hard edged look. So my question to myself was, how am I going to make this abstract style that I love look like fog? And then I kind of actually threw that out the window too. So I was like, well, do I have to make it like fog? Not really. Everything I do is pretty abstract. So basically, if I'm telling everyone this is about form and color and the paint is the main event, then who cares, right? So I can call it foggy day. Maybe it doesn't even look like a foggy day in the end. It doesn't matter, right? And so, yeah, that's the lesson. and not just for painting, this can be for any situation. We build up things in anticipation. We build up things in our mind, and yeah, and why not? I mean, it's natural. You're looking forward to something and you're kind of pre-dreaming about what this event is going to be like. And so this is just about like taking back that expectation and just really just throwing it out. Just throw it out and start from scratch with the right attitude, of course, right? Because at the end of the day, I still have to make something, whether it's going to look like a gray, foggy day. It's never going to look like that because that's not the kind of work that I do, right? So that in itself is very freeing, okay? Because I'm making it up as I go along. And yeah, at the end of the day, whatever we create is its own thing. Never mind the rain and the fog and the frigid weather. So anyway, that's my painting, Pemaquid Light Foggy Day in a nutshell. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for stopping by the studio, and links below to see more of my work. Thank you.